All right, so in this explainer, we're going to unpack a really powerful lecture from way back in 1990 that lays out this timeless path to inner peace. I mean, think of it as a roadmap for your inner world, something that feels more relevant than ever today, and it all starts with one surprisingly simple question.
Do you truly know your mind? Not just, your passing thoughts or your feelings, but the real deep down core of who you are. The speaker argued that most of us, we actually don't, and it's because we're confusing two very, very different things.
So check this out. On the left, you've got emotion, or kanjo. This is all the reactive stuff, right? It's automatic, it's fleeting, that flash of anger, that wave of sadness. But on the right, that's the mind, or kokoro. And that is your core self. It's deeper, it's more conscious. The big problem, he said, is that we spend almost our entire lives living on the left side, mistaking these automatic emotional reactions for who we really are.
And this confusion, this mix-up, it's right at the heart of so much of our inner turmoil. The speaker basically gave a diagnosis for the human condition. He called it a case of mistaken identity.
It's a really powerful idea when you think about it. We go through life thinking we're one thing, when actually we're something else entirely. It's kind of like an actor who gets so lost in their role they completely forget they're on a stage. And this metaphor just illustrates it perfectly. We identify with the vehicle, our body, with all its cravings and aches and pains. But the speaker's big point is that we're not the car. We're the driver, we're the soul, the tamashii, that's just using this body for a little while. And you see, when we think we are the vehicle, our entire focus in life just shifts. It all becomes about ego and competition and chasing these little pleasures that never, ever last. The speaker warned that this path, it's a dead end. It's a life of distraction that, more often than not, ends in some really deep regret.
Okay, but here's the good news. This is the turning point. After laying out the problem so clearly, the speaker gave a path forward, a way to get back on track and find what he called the royal road of life. And this road has 3 essential steps. First, we've got to let go of all the stuff that's holding us back. Second, we need to develop a wider, more compassionate view of things. And third, it's all about reconnecting with our true nature. So, let's break each one down.
Step 1 is absolutely crucial because it deals with all that mental baggage that, let's be honest, we all carry around. It's about learning how to finally let it go. So, the speaker defined attachment, or shuchaku, in this super practical way. Ever notice how when your mind isn't busy, it just snaps back to the same thought? The same old worry, that one failure, that same resentment? That recurring loop, that is attachment. It's like a pen that's holding your mind stuck in a moment that's long gone.
And the metaphor he used here is just beautiful. He said our soul, our true self, is supposed to be luminous, like pure gold. But these attachments, these negative thought loops, they're like layers and layers of dust and grime that build up over the years and just dim that light.
He also used these other really vivid images. He called attachments rusty nails that we let someone hammer into our hearts, maybe decades ago, and we just left them there to fester. Or he said they're like debris that gets snagged in a river, blocking the natural, beautiful flow of things.
So this brings us to a really important question for you, personally. What are your rusty nails? What are those past hurts or failures that your mind just keeps circling back to? Seriously, think about it. Just noticing what's pinning you down, that is the first step to freedom. Now, once we start pulling out some of those nails, the next step is to cultivate a much broader, more harmonious perspective on life itself.
He pointed out that true tolerance, kanyo, the spirit of just generous acceptance, has become incredibly rare. Instead, what do we see everywhere? Judgment, criticism, and this small-minded focus on every little flaw, both in ourselves and in other people. To get that tolerance back, he brings us back to that river metaphor. See, our soul's journey isn't just this one lifetime. It's this huge, great river that flows across eternity. We've been born in all sorts of times and places. We've had countless different experiences. And when you really grasp that, it changes everything. It lets you be tolerant with yourself. Maybe right now you feel like you're in a really rough, rocky part of the river. That's okay. It's just one little stretch of a very, very long journey. It's not the whole story. And the final step really builds on this idea. It's all about remembering where our soul truly belongs, its true home. The speaker argued that so much of our anxiety, our stress, that feeling of not being good enough, it doesn't come from us. It comes from the artificial values of our modern world, this constant pressure to achieve more, to compete, to be seen.
But our soul, he said, has a true home, a place of peace that exists way beyond all that noise. He gave it this beautiful name, our original landscape, or Genfuke. It's like an inner sanctuary that we're all born with.
He asked his audience to just picture this scene. A warm, sunny day, you're sitting peacefully on a hill under a cherry blossom tree, just looking out at this vast, misty landscape below. He said that feeling, that deep sense of peace and harmony, that is the true home of your soul.
So at the end of the day, this whole journey, pulling out those rusty nails of attachment, finding that tolerance by seeing the bigger picture, and tuning out all the noise of the modern world, it's all about one thing: letting our soul come home. Letting it get back to its natural state of quiet, peaceful harmony.
And that leaves us with one final question. Just take a moment. If you can, maybe even close your eyes. Forget all the noise, the competition, the stress. What does your soul's original landscape look like? Finding that place inside of you, well, that's the beginning of the Royal Road.